Hello children, let me welcome you all to a lesson here through the virtual class for standard 8th social studies. Now last time when we met we did a lesson in history children. This time we are going to do the first lesson in geography, which is part of your geography textbook. Now it is lesson number 1, local time and standard time. So when we talk about time, why do we start wondering about whether time is of different types? Because the name of this lesson is local time and standard time. So does the concept of time fall into different categories? Yes, it does. Okay, and that is what we are going to learn in this particular lesson today. And remember children, this is a rather long lesson, so we will be doing this lesson in 2 parts. So the first part of the lesson we will be doing it today, and the remaining part of the lesson we will be doing it when we meet next time. So in this clock on your screen for you, you can see in this image on the screen for you, you can see 4 different clocks. Okay, and all these clocks indicate 4 different timings also. So in one particular clock it is 4:35, in another clock it is 9:35, in the third clock you have the time which is telling you that it is 12:35, and in the last clock you have the time 6:35. That means these clocks are showing different timings. Now let us take a look at the figure more carefully. So let us look at the location of these particular clocks. Alright, so the clock which is towards the east and the clock which is towards the western part and the eastern part of the world. So keep all these things in mind. Okay, when we are learning the lesson, we are going to learn about why this is so, why timings keep changing as you go to different parts of the world. As you go from one part of the world to another part of the world, why the time zone changes and why the time keeps changing. For example, if you have someone who stays abroad, okay, when you talk to that person, you realize that that person is in a different part of the time, you can say, frame, and you are in some other part of the time frame. So why does all these things happen? We will learn, but let us start by doing some recalling work. Okay, since this is the first lesson in your geography syllabus for this year, let us try and recall a little bit of things that we learned in last year's geography, so that we can relate it and we can connect it to the geography that you're going to learn this year. Okay, especially with the concept that you're going to learn in this particular lesson. So in the let's recall session, we will pick up certain points, like for example, we will pick up the first point. Why does the duration of the day and night keep changing? So look here, we looked at this particular image, if you remember when you studied geography last year. So this is the sun, and you will see the earth, and you will see that the earth's axis is a little bit tilted. So what happens? Sometimes when the axis of the earth is tilted towards the sun, when the axis of the earth is tilted towards the sun, it means the earth itself is tilted towards the sun, isn't it? In such a case, what happens? The rays of the sun reaches more places on the surface of that earth and for a longer period of time. That is why when it is summer, you will see that during the summer, the earth tilts towards the sun, and therefore the days are longer and the nights are shorter. Now these things children we have learned in our geography last year, and remember we are just recalling, or we are just trying to recollect these particular points. Now let's talk about the number of longitudes which are there on the globe. Alright, now we know what are latitudes, we know what are longitudes, we have learned what is the graticule, and we have also understood why the graticule, or why the concept of graticule is important in understanding location of a place. So how many longitudes are there children on the globe? See, we have a total of 180 plus 180, that is 360 lines of longitude. Okay, now the most important longitude, like you must have learned in the lower classes, is the 0-degree longitude, or the prime meridian. That is the most important of all longitudes. Let's move on and let's look at how the earth rotates. So in the first image, just imagine that you are somewhere in the sky and your position is just above the North Pole. So the earth is below you and you are flying, or you are just on top of the North Pole in the air. Okay, when you observe, you will see that the earth is rotating in the counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Alright, this is when you look at it from outside the earth, from the top of the earth. Now when you look at it from the side like this, you will see that the earth is rotating from the west side to the east side, from west towards the east. Okay, that means places which are in the east will face the sun first. Okay, so now look here. So that is why what happens is we feel, because of this rotation, because of the rotation from the west to the east, we get a feeling that the sun is rising in the east and setting in the west. Okay, now this concept can be more clearly understood using this small image from our daily life. Now imagine you are all sitting in a bus, okay, and your bus is moving forward and there is a particular tree there. Now when you are in the bus, just imagine that you are sitting inside this particular bus and the driver of the bus starts driving. Okay, you are supposed to imagine that you are inside this bus. One of those three children is you. Now when the bus moves ahead, see, the bus has started moving ahead. What feeling do you get, children? What feeling do you get when you are inside the bus, mind you? What feeling do you get when the bus moves ahead? You start feeling that the tree is going backwards. Okay, so the same concept it works when we talk about how the earth moves from west to east, and therefore you feel like the sun is rising in the east and setting in the west. Now let's address one more point of revision in the textbook. So now this is the earth. Imagine that it is rotating and it is the longitudes also you can see. We are not going to talk about the latitudes right now because we are talking about time, isn't it? And time is directly related to the longitudes. So just observe the longitudes. You will see how one by one they are coming in front of the sun. So what do you think? How many longitudes will come in front of the sun daily? So children, each and every longitude on the earth will face the sun at least once during one rotation. Okay, that is in a period of 24 hours, each of the 360 longitudes will face the sun. Okay, so this is one more concept that we are supposed to keep in mind. Look here. So like I told you that when the earth goes from the west to the east, the places which are in the east will come first in front of the sun. So the longitude which will face the sun first is the longitude towards the eastern side of the earth. Okay, the longitudes on the eastern hemisphere of the earth. Alright, so these are some points of revision that we are doing, children. We will get to the topic for today very soon. Now this is one more important thing when we talk about time. Definitely time is divided into minutes and hours and into days and months and years. Okay, so the day or the date is also a very important component of time. So we have learned that the date changes on a particular imaginary line which is called as the international date line. And which is considered as the international date line? The 180-degree longitude is considered as the international date line. Alright, and you can see the dotted line here on the screen for you. That is the international date line, or as you call it, the IDL. Okay. Now there is also this particular point where you talk about how do you measure time in the, how did people measure time in the olden periods. Now we have watches, now we have digital watches, and now watches are also have gone out of fashion, children, because you have your mobile phones always with you. You are sitting in front of a computer which indicates the time. But all this is due to the blessings of modern technology. Now just imagine in the olden times when all this was not there, people used to rely on the sun for the time. They used to look at the sun and they used to look at the shadow caused by the sun, and then they used to read the time. They also had certain other instruments, like for example they had this Ghatika Patra which they used in order to study or understand about time. And of course there was the hourglass or the sand timer as well. Alright, so all these things were used by our ancestors in order to keep time or in order to know time. Now we come to the first point in our lesson. Let us talk about what is local time. Let us take a few examples before we talk about what is local time. So this, suppose, is the time in India. It is 9:41. Let us not get into the AM and PM mess right now. Let us try and understand. This is the time in India now. For example, suppose it is 9:41 in India. Okay. Let us take a map also along with it so that we understand the concept of how places in the east are ahead as far as time is concerned. So what is the time in India? It is 9:41. So where is India on the map? Here we are. Okay. Now suppose you consider a place which is towards the eastern part of India. Any place, okay, which is towards the east of India. This place will be ahead of us in time. For example, see, we are 9:41 and that place will be having the time 10:24. Why? Because it is towards the eastern side of India. So that particular place, that particular longitude will come in front of the sun first. Alright, so there the time will be 10:24, whereas we in India are lagging behind them as far as time is concerned, and here we are at 9:41. Let's take this image now. Okay, now here there is a person. There are three people on this particular map, and now here you have a person towards the east and one person is in the center, and then you have a person towards the west. Now the person on the east is saying it is 12:01, that is 12 o'clock and 1 minute past 12. Whereas the person standing in the center is saying no, it is not 12:01, it is 12. And the person behind him is saying no, it is not neither 12:01 nor is it 12. The time right now is 11:59. So what do you think? Who's right and who's wrong? Or are all of them wrong, or are all of them right? So this argument can continue, isn't it? That is the reason we have come up with the concept of local time. So what is local time? The time of a place as decided by the location of the sun in the sky is called as local time. So the local time of each place will be different. Why? Because the location of the sun in the sky of each longitude varies. One longitude comes in front of the sun, it passes ahead, the other one comes. So each longitude faces the sun at different points in time. Therefore, the time of every place will differ. Okay, so this is the meaning of local time. Let us look at one more image. So see, the local time of places in different areas or different places on the surface of the earth will be different. This is the first image that also we saw. Let us end this lesson now, children, by looking at this image which is part of your textbook. So if you open your textbook and if you come to page number 2, you will find this particular image there. Okay, local time. So what is local time? Local time is related to the rotation and to the location of the sun in the sky. Okay, so like I told you, this is a rather long lesson, children. We are supposed to learn about what is local time, and once you understand what is local time, we will move ahead and we will talk about what is the standard time. Okay, but that will be at a later date. This is all for today.